Joseph Parker versus Kali Meehan post-fight. I've even put a tie on to discuss this, given its importance. Really good performance this from Joseph Parker. In many ways, not that I'm trying to look for credit here, self-praise is no praise, but in many ways, some of the things I said in my pre-fight video in this fight came true. Some of the areas that I highlighted of relevance were very relevant. And what I noticed is Joseph Parker comes out and he sticks to his boxing. You know, Kali Meehan is a guy who, I think he's 45 years old. He's had a few wars over the years. And he's someone who I really questioned what sort of condition they'd come into and what sort of fitness levels he would have in this fight. What I said is that Kali Meehan posed a danger early on. Yeah, Meehan has power. He's got a big right hand. Joseph needed to be careful about wading in round 1, round 2. He needed to measure Meehan, beat some of the life out of him first. And that's what I liked about this performance. Joseph Parker, you know, it was a pretty good boxing performance rounds 1 and 2. And you could see straight away, even though he wasn't knocking Meehan down in the earliest rounds, you could see every time he hit Meehan, he was hurting him. The hand speed was electric for a heavyweight fighter. I really like the way this guy changes levels. And I say this in every single one of my Joseph Parker videos. But how nice is it to see a heavyweight with such fast hands throwing combinations and not forgetting the body? You know, swapping in shots to the body and shots to the head as part of a combination of punches. It's what I really like to see. Yeah, Meehan's a big guy. I think he's 6'5". I'm not sure how much he weighed, but he's a big guy. And I liked how Joseph Parker was at times able to get physical with him. You know, Meehan came forward. He tried to put it up to Parker in a sense, and Parker was able to hold his own up close. It wasn't like necessarily a great inside battle. It just didn't go into that fight. But what Parker showed that he was strong and physical, and he wouldn't be bullied when the fight got up close. And then in the third round, he wins by stoppage. You know, Meehan really, it was quite clear that he had nothing but a puncher's chance after the first minute or two of this fight. And I felt like it was a matter of time. Yeah, Meehan's very experienced. He's a tough guy. He probably was never going to go in the first round. But Parker stops him in the third round, throws a jab, which creates some room. And then I think it's a big right hand. The camera I watched it on, the angle was unclear because it was kind of filmed behind Meehan. But you kind of sort of punch, perhaps catching him top of the head or side of the head. It was kind of like an overhand punch. Meehan did throw a few wild swingers at Parker. Not much of any note landed as far as I could make out. And that was good to see, because I've highlighted in the past that Parker has maybe forgot his defences slightly. In the Jacob Saglam fight or in the Sherman Williams fight, Parker was there to be hit to an extent. But he's improving. You know, he's becoming a more disciplined boxer. He's becoming a more all-round defensive unit. And for me, that's so key, because when you get to this higher level, not that Kali Meehan is, you know, top 10 or top 20 or anything like that, but when you get to this higher level, sometimes you need to work your way in. Sometimes you need to measure yourself. Sometimes you need to find a gap before you go in throwing power shots. And that's exactly what Joseph Parker did today. And to me, he looked ready for the next step in his progression. You know, I've talked several times about Parker being a baby for the heavyweight division. There's no need to rush him at all. It's no bad thing if Vladimir Klitschko's retired by the time Parker gets to the top. And I've often said there's things in his game that still need to be ironed out, so let's not rush him right away. Having seen this fight against a respectable opponent, I think it is time to start moving Parker closer towards the top of the division. And I'm not talking that he should fight Deontay Wilder or Bryant Jennings or Bermane Stiverne yet. He's still 2 or 3 fights away from those guys, in my opinion. But what I'm talking about now is moving him up to the top 30s, the top 40s of the division. You know, getting him in against a Freza Quendo, getting him in against an Alex Leopai, getting him in against a I don't know, maybe the loser of the Tony Thompson-Malik Scott fight. You know, I'm not saying we go right for the top tier yet, but we start to gradually increase the level of opposition. Next year, I'd really like to see Parker Lucas Brown. That's going to be a very big fight in that part of the world. You know, Parker being a Kiwi, Brown being an Aussie. And I think Parker could handle Brown with relative ease. You know, Brown's got ambitions of his own. He's unbeaten. He punches hard. He is a step up from Kali Meehan. at this stage of his career. But I think if Parker sticks to his game and gets behind his jab and fights technically and sensibly, he can get a win in a fight like that. And I think throughout 2016, I know he's scheduled to fight, I think, December 2015, but throughout 2016, I think we'd like to see him in 3 step-up fights against the Fraser Quendos, Lucas Browns, Malik Scotts of this world. And then come by 2017, he's ready. He's ready for Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Tyson Fury, Vladimir Klitschko, Deontay Wilder, and that's when we see him in the exciting fights. And, you know, Parker, I won't go on for too much longer, but Parker is exciting. He does things differently to the rest of the heavyweight division. There's plenty of heavyweights who can punch very, very hard. You know, the fact that Parker's a big power puncher only impresses me to an extent. But it's the athleticism, it's the hand speed, it's the combinations, it's the punch variety that really excites me. And if he can keep his discipline, if he can keep his defence, and if he can stay tight and professional at all times, this guy really could go far. Let me know your thoughts on this fight. How did you see it? Many thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this, I would appreciate it if you could give me the thumbs up on this video. Thanks for watching.